pretty much what I thought. The house ain't level. That pretty much confirms my suspicions that we've always had. I've never actually put a level down to see, but we've always just had the feeling that our coach was not level, even though the HWH leveling system says it was. So now we know. It actually sits low in the front, even when the system thinks that it actually is level. Now we have a Country Coach Intrigue, and it is equipped with the HWH leveling system. Now you can adjust these systems to calibrate your coach, so that's not a problem. We just didn't have an idea up until this point. And if you'll notice also, the 4 LEDs that are inside on the dash panel also correspond with 4 LEDs that are in here. And if you simply take and move the box around, let's see if we can get the glare off of here. Maybe not. But if you just move the box, you see the LED come on? All right, there's 4 LEDs in there, and they coincide with the 4 LEDs on the dash panel. So we can actually tweak this box front to back for the level, up and down, front to back. And then on the side over here, there's an adjustment for the side to side. Now our side to side is pretty much right on, but our front to rear is way off. We're actually sitting really low in the front. Also, since we're on the HWH system, our coach is full air ride. We have no leveling jacks. So when we're traveling down the highway, we have ride height sensors that simply maintain a ride height. They're not necessarily leveling the coach going down the highway, they're just maintaining a ride height. So if you stop and you're in drive mode, you may notice your coach sitting a little bit like this. That's because it's not leveling it, it's just maintaining a ride height on the axles. Now, when we stop, we go into neutral, set the brakes, engage the automatic leveling system, then it will level our coach on the airbags. And again, that's what that box right there, the 4 LEDs are doing. And as you can see, it's off. So we have stayed in a few campgrounds, a few boondock spots where our spot was considerably unlevel to begin with. And I really had no idea just how far the coach was off until we would try to engage the automatic air leveling system, and then we would either be on excess slope or it would just run out of travel and it could not level the motorhome. So I wanted some kind of a system where I could visually see all the time in real time how level the coach was whenever we pull into a spot. So I got online, I started looking for a few different things, and let me show you what we're gonna do. So even though we're equipped with automatic air leveling, I'm going to install a system from Rvlevelerpro. All it is a little Bluetooth module. You get your coach perfectly level. You set the module, you calibrate it. There's an app you download onto your phone. It works for Android and iPhone, and it will give you a full real-time visualization of the coach. So now I'll be able to pull into a spot. We can just pull it up on the phone, and I can see how far away off each side, and then we can kind of adjust the coach manually in the spot to get it as level as possible before we engage the automatic leveling system. Because you don't want to you want to really level automatically as little as possible. So you want the full amount of airbags, you want pretty much as minimum amount of jack as you can have. You don't want to be parked on some crazy incline and have to have airbags all the way up like this, airbags all the way down in the back, side to side, have your jacks 9 foot down in the front. That's just not good on your jacks. So we're going to install this very simple little system here, Rvlevelerpro, and we're going to get it calibrated, and I think it's going to help us out a lot better. So let's get the box open. Let's see what's actually in there. Let's get this thing installed. Let's get the app on the phone, and we'll see what we see. All right, so here it is. Let's see. Got a little user manual. Looks like we got some double-sided tape and some screws. And then the actual little Bluetooth module itself. That's it. Very, very simple device. It says, please install the device vertically with the label arrow pointing upwards. So it will have to mount it where all the writing and everything is legible and readable. Simple enough. So let's take a quick browse through the instructions. We'll figure out how to set it, how to calibrate it. I'm sure we'll use our air leveling system. We'll get the coach exactly level on the manual level bubbles back there, and then we'll install this device, calibrate it so that it shows level, and then we'll see how far our HWH system is off, and then we can manually adjust that box to get it to read level. So let's see what we can figure out here. So I've kind of scanned through the book here. It seems simple enough, straightforward. One thing I'm not quite sure of just yet, but we'll have to do a long-term review on this. It's not a deal breaker at all, is this is actually battery powered. There is an internal battery, which is replaceable. You just pop the cover off. There's some batteries inside. I don't know what type they are. I'm sure it's something very common, but this unit will actually go into sleep mode. And it says that the sleep mode is adjustable through the app. We'll check that out. We'll get back to that. But once it goes into sleep mode, to wake it up, you need to flip the power switch on and off. Again, not a deal breaker. And again, I don't know exactly how long the battery is going to last, so we can set the sleep mode. I don't know if it'll just, we'll have to see what all the different meanings are. But I think even if you were mount this on a travel trailer, once you pull up to your camp spot, your boondock spot, whatever, I think it's always good practice anyways to get out and take a visualization of where you're going to be going with everything. So I don't think it would be a big deal to just flip the switch on and off to wake it back up. But since we're in a Class A, I mean, we're just going to mount it right here next to the driver's console. So for me, it won't be no big deal. I mean, I can literally just reach over there, flip it off, flip it on. And then again, we'll have to see how long the sleep mode goes. But it does say once it goes to sleep that you have to wake it up, which is just toggling the switch on and off. I think there should be a way to do that through the app. Maybe they can change that in the software setting later on down the road just to make it a little bit more better. But still, again, it seems like it's going to be a very cool product, very easy to use. I scanned through the book here. The instructions are straightforward enough. Once you download the app, everything is pretty much set up through the app. It's Apple and Android. You'll go in there, you will set the type of system that you're using it on, whether it be like a travel trailer, towable, Class A, B, C. You'll input some measurements, the width of your vehicle, the length of your vehicle, again, whether it be a trailer or a Class A, B, C. And then all your settings are configurable through the app. And anyway, it seems straightforward enough. I haven't really ran into anything that I've questioned to see how it's going to work out. I think it's still going to be a pretty good system. So we're going to get it stuck over here. Like I say, with this being a Class A, it's a little bit more convenient for us than it is for a travel trailer, but we're just going to stick it right here, right next to the driver's console. And then we'll have a Bluetooth display on the phone, and then we can see what we're actually pulling into before we engage the HWH leveling system. And also, once we get this system set up and we know that the coach is physically level compared to our bubble levels, then I can see it on the phone. We'll know we're level. Then I'll go in and I can calibrate my HWH system. So we'll know when we pull into a spot how far we are off initially. We can get it relatively close with the Bluetooth app. Then we can go to this system and use a very minimal amount of leveling. So we're just going to use the double-sided adhesive pad. We'll get that thing stuck on. We'll get the app downloaded, get our measurements and everything put in there, and then we'll see what it's. So we just took the little self-adhesive backing plate here, stuck it on. It tells you which way to put it. You need to be able to read the words, and the arrows need to point up. And again, with ours being a Class A, we're just going to stick it right here next to the driver's console. So we'll just find a place here suitable. Make sure it's relatively level. And we're just going to use the body line right there at the bottom as just a visualization point. And we're just going to stick it on. Simple enough. Just like that. And for us, the power switch is right here. If you toggle the switch on, you'll hear 2 beeps, and that lets you know that the system is on and ready to be connected to Bluetooth. So we'll get the app downloaded, we'll set in all our measurements, the type of vehicle we're on, we'll go from there. But for now, we're just going to switch it back off. The unit will go back to sleep mode. There's no power consumption being drawn off the battery. I'm sorry, not sleep mode, it's actually physically off. And then if we turn it back on again, 2 beeps, it's back on, ready to go. Now we'll set the sleep time, and again, I'm going to set the sleep time for a very long duration so that we can do a long-term review of just how long the battery will last. I mean, once it's in sleep mode, I mean, it may last, or not in sleep mode, I mean, this thing may last a really long time. But we'll just keep the progress of that as we go along the way. We got several trips planned coming up, so we'll see how the battery does. All right, so we're going to go to the App Store here. We're just going to download the app, and we're going to follow the on-screen instructions just to see how to set it up. So we're going to go to our App Store. We're going to search for Rvlevelerpro. Search. There it is. We're going to download it. And done. Going to exit back out of that. Now, before we go into the app to set up the coach, what we're going to do is we are going to manually level the coach so that it matches the bubble levels back here. Now, I already know that it's low in the front, so we're just going to go back into our leveling system, and we're going to raise the front up. And then we'll actually just drop the back a little bit. And then we'll check our bubble levels, and we'll just keep adjusting it accordingly until we get it completely level, which we are pretty close. Again, side to side, pretty much right on the money. So we're just going to adjust it a little bit more. We'll get it totally level on the bubble level. We'll be right back. All right, so that is pretty much right on the money now. Both bubbles. And see, as we suspected, our HWH leveling system thinks that the coach is the opposite. It thinks it's now too low in the back, and again, that's why we're going to install a system that we can visually see off the phone, and then we'll go ahead and calibrate this system so that they'll all match. This is not a problem, it's just something we weren't completely aware of, but we're going to get it fixed now. So let's go back over here to our tablet. We've got the app installed. Yes, we would like to use Bluetooth. Yes, notifications. Oh, I may have to switch the system off and back on if it's in sleep mode. We'll see if it comes up. No, it did not. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip it off. Back on. And we are going to reconnect. Okay, there we go. We've got it installed. Now we're going to tell it the type of vehicle that we're using it on. Travel trailer, no. Fifth wheel, no. Class B or C, no. Pop-up hybrid, no. Class A. We're going to select Class A. Our unit of measurements, inches, Fahrenheit, left. Yeah, we're in the United States. Last to use the metric system, what can we say? All right, it wants to know the width of our RV and the length of our RV from the center of the steer axle to the center of the drive axle. So our width is 101 inches. Our length is 247 inches. Let's see, please select the location where the device is installed. And we have it label facing passenger side. Desired measurement resolution, yeah, 1/4 inch is fine. Please enter how long the RV leveler goes to sleep. We're going to leave it at, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and put this thing at 2 hours, just because we're curious to see how long the battery is going to last. If your RV has slide outs and you would like to set up the balancing equipment to compensate for slide lean, I'm not worried about that. We'll be using this system without the slides out, and our HWH system will take care of the compensation for the slides being out. Level your RV, which we have. Once it is level, blah, blah, blah. Select all the retired outs. Again, we're not going to do that with the slide outs. And then, of course, it says keep still and, you know, so keep level. We're going to let it do its thinking. Done. And it tells you if you need to change any of the settings along the way, or if you change types or whatever, you just simply go to installation settings and go again. So we're going to go. It is loading our configuration. Our battery capacity of the device is 100%. And it tells you you can modify all the stuff in settings. And then you can change the side that you're viewing it from so that you can get a visualization of which angle you're actually viewing. I'm sorry about the glare on the screen. I didn't even think about that. So sorry. But you can actually change the orientation of how you're viewing the RV. We're just going to leave it as it is. We're level from left to right. We are level from front to rear. So the direction and height, it wants to know, you know, it's telling us that our numbers here that we're reading is explaining how it's going to calculate the measurements. And then you can record the balance point of the current position of the RV, which we are level, so we are going to record it. And we're going to go next. And then you can go next. And there it is. And as you can see, oh, I'm moving. You see how sensitive that was? I actually moved in the driver's seat. Anyway, see, it says all zeros because the coach is manually leveled with the bubble levels. And again, if we go back to our HWH system, it says that the coach is unlevel. So what I'm going to do now is I will go and I will calibrate the HWH system to keep the coach level where it is right now. And see there again, I moved. It lights up. It's pretty sensitive, I'll have to say that. Around here in the driver's seat a little bit, and it will actually come up and show it being off. But that's pretty cool. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it is a relatively pretty simple system to use. So for now, I like it. I mean, I'll download the app onto my phone also, and we can visually see what's going on with the coach whenever we pull into a spot, whether it be a campground, a boondock spot, or whatever. And anyways, guys, that's it. It was a very simple installation, very simple to set up. A whole separate video about the HWH system. I hadn't intended on doing a video about calibrating that or anything like that, but there is a very good video out there about the HWH system. If you look on Brian's RV videos on YouTube, he talks all about the HWH system. So for now, that's it. I like it. It was simple enough to use. You can purchase it on Amazon. And hey, we might even throw a little bit of a link down in here in the description for a discount code if you would be interested in it. I'll see about getting that set up and put it in the description. And then we will definitely do some long-term reviews on this thing to see how well it does in the overall. And like I say, the battery situation, again, it's a self-powered unit. I might like to see an option where you could actually power this off of like the coach batteries or something so that it technically would never go to sleep. I don't know. We'll have to see how that does in the long term with the battery life. This thing may last so long that I don't really worry about it. I'm sure there's nothing to change in the batteries in it. It simply says you just pop the cover off and there's batteries in there. Probably like a, I don't know, probably a big flat wafer battery or something in there, like a CR2032 or something like that maybe. But anyway, there it is. The Rvlevelerpro system. Bluetooth leveling system. It'll work on travel trailers, pop-ups, any kind of trailer, Class A, B, C, motorhome. All it wants to do is know your measurements between your axles. That's all I can say, folks. Rvlevelerpro seems to be pretty cool. I'll let you guys know how it does down the road. For now, it is what it is. See you guys later.